Hello there. Welcome to the Path to Better A1C podcast. I'm your host, Jenny. I'm a national board certified health and wellness coach and diabetes prevention program lifestyle coach. And I come every Friday morning to bring you some simple strategies so that you can balance your blood sugar, regain your energy, and not be scared about diabetes, but conquer it, right? And today I have a special guest. I am super excited because she has a specialty that I don't, and she is a personal trainer. Her name is Lisa, and I'm going to let her introduce herself, and hopefully, she's going to bring you some great insight and tips and strategies, especially around movement. Because if you have been listening to me for 3 seconds, you know that movement is like a very key pillar when it comes to blood sugar management and balancing your blood sugar and also energy, because exercise actually gives you energy. But I'm going to pass it on to Lisa, let her introduce herself and share a little bit about her story. Hi,
Hi,
Lisa.
everyone. Thank you, Jenny, for having me on the podcast. I'm super excited to be here. So, like she said, I am a personal trainer. I'm also a nutrition and wellness coach. And fun fact to tie that all together, I'm also a professional dancer. So, that's where my journey started. I've been dancing since I was 8 years old. And when I graduated high school, I moved to New York and was training professionally up there. And that's when life became real. I had not been cross training or fueling my body the way that an athlete needs to. So I learned that the hard way and really started to take Pilates classes and strength training and not necessarily watching and restricting what I'm eating, but just cleaning up and becoming more aware of what I put in my body. And it completely changed how I felt, how I danced, how I looked, everything. And so after about a year in New York, I decided to get certified in personal training and nutrition coaching. And then this year also added in becoming a Pilates instructor. So the fitness and health world is right up my ballgame.
Oh, awesome. Awesome. Wow. So it's such an amazing journey. What was the biggest challenge? I know that you mentioned dancing. Like how did you kind of like ended up saying, "Wait a minute, I need to make a change." Like what was like your aha moment in that journey?
So I spent years, if anyone knows anything about the dance world, it is so hard on body image and what you look like. And there's a lot of comparison that goes on in especially females dancers' minds. So I would spend years restricting what I was eating, and then I would go through like a binge restrict cycle, overly working out. I was awful. I would make myself hold a plank 3 times a day because I was like, my core needs to look this way. And it just got mentally tiring, and I wasn't enjoying dancing anymore. I wasn't confident in myself, and that drains you, not only physically, but also mentally. So when I got to such a high caliber in New York and I would see dancers not doing that, and they were like, oh, I go to the gym and I eat whatever I want. And I was like, I want to have that freedom. So I started making simple changes. I first focused on the fitness part and was like, today I want to go to the gym and today I don't feel like it. And I learned to accept that I don't have to be perfect every day. And by making those changes, I started feeling better in my body. Then I tackled the nutrition. So just seeing it firsthand, other dancers not struggling with what was keeping me back as a performer, I just realized, okay, that's what I want. I don't want to constantly be stuck in this cycle of tearing my body down.
Yep, yep. And I always tell my clients like, okay, like a lot because sadly for years, and you probably know this, right? Like there have been diet trends, right? Like and there's always like this extreme. I feel like we all, I'm gonna put myself included because I went through that that runway as well. But it's always like this thing about, oh, this is the new trend and everybody has to try it, right? Like and even when you go back in history, you're like, okay, everything was like fat is so bad, everything has to be low fat, and guess what they added all the sugar, and now you have all the sugar now added, and now okay, fat is okay, like you have the Atkins diet and all these other things, and you look back in history, you're like, wait a minute, and everything is extreme. So sometimes when I'm coaching clients, I keep telling them, like, okay, it's not about necessarily the ultra restriction, but more about balance and how can you incorporate those foods that you enjoy and still support your body and still and understand, right? Like, even for me, like, I'm so happy that I'm Hispanic and I can still eat rice and like my blood sugar doesn't spike as much as when I eat like mashed potatoes, right? Like Thanksgiving is coming at the time of this recording, right? Like it's a few days out. And I'm already thinking, I'm like, yeah, I love mashed potatoes, but I just know that every time I have them, like I get that blood sugar spike. It's just my body reacts differently. So when I know that I'm going to have it now, I never say like I'm never going to have a potato, but I just make sure that when I do have it, I make sure that I pair it with vegetables, I pair it with like, protein, that I'm going to have a little stroll after, or a little dance party, right? Like after dinner, so that you can find ways of incorporating that without feeling like you're fully restricted. So that's definitely like key. Yeah.
I
So,
feel like that's such a big thing nowadays is everyone wants that all or nothing, and if you are someone that has a balanced diet, like, I work out almost every day, I eat clean, I still eat dessert every day, but not 3 times a day, and that's almost frowned upon, like, I'm looked at as one of those crazy health people who, like, "Oh my god, you work out that much?" And it's become so normalized to not work out and to not eat clean that, like, when you do it, you're thought of as crazy, which I hate because there doesn't need to be an extreme, like, the big thing now is don't eat bread and don't eat sugar. You need both of them to survive. There's a certain amount of both that you need, and you shouldn't pass that threshold. But I think there's no education out there about what you actually can consume. It's just like, oh, don't do this, which is so misleading.
yep, yep. And a lot of my clients, that's the one thing. It's like, can I eat bread? Can I eat pasta? Can I
I'm
eat?
like, yes, you
Now,
can.
and I tell them, I'm like, you can eat anything you want. Now, what we need to assess is like how you're eating it. How much are you eating it? What are you pairing it with? How does it impact you? Right? Like, again, like I know that potatoes impact me a lot more than like rice or pasta.
Right.
So
So make
I'm
the
aware
choice
of
that
that.
helps you feel good. And if,
Exactly.
that
And
not
the other
eating a
thing that
dessert,
I tell my clients, that there's an exercise, and I have it on the blog, that I tell them breakfast is so important, right? Like for blood sugar regulation, and like what do you eat for breakfast? I feel like it kind of determines how even your cravings are. Like if you eat a high carb breakfast, it's almost like you're going to be craving that for the rest of the day, most likely. And I told them, I'm like, okay, no judgment. If you want to eat your cereal, like I have a list, and I'm like, okay, can you test? Be a scientist, test, have different days, have this different breakfast, right? One day you're gonna eat your eggs with vegetables and some fruit, another day you're gonna eat a muffin, another day, and assess how do you feel right after and how do you feel 2 hours after. And when they see that, they're like, huh, when I had this breakfast, I felt so much sharper. I was more productive. I didn't have the cravings. I didn't need the second cup of coffee. So when they see the evidence, they're like, okay, like
maybe what you're saying is
maybe.
true.
So when they see the evidence, I'm like, okay, like if you feel great eating this, like, okay, then let's incorporate that. And that doesn't mean that, let's say, muffin didn't do so well for your energy, that you will never eat a muffin. But now you're
Right.
aware of it. So
And you
that's
can do different pairings and mix and match.
exactly. And not feel, I feel like the more that you restrict, the more that you want that thing that you're restricting.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. But anyway, but like we know a little bit about the nutrition, and I know you know a lot of these things, but what about exercise? Because this is the one thing that a lot of people struggle. And there are different things, and a lot of my audience and my clients, um most of them are like corporate workers. So you know what it means. It means that they're sitting down in front of the computer for long periods of time. It means that sometimes they have 10-hour days, and it's super long and stressful. What are some tips? Like, I know that obviously I always tell my client, if you feel like you get that motivation from working out as a group, obviously try to squeeze that in, try to squeeze a class. Like there are even virtual classes that you can kind of like register for. And there are walking groups in different cities and areas that you can join. But if those things almost seem like impossible to reach, like what are some strategies that you can share with the audience to
Absolutely.
incorporate movement?
I always say, and I'm sure you've heard this, keep it simple. It does not need to be the longest and most intense workout. Like, I don't need you in the gym for 2 hours every day. You can still get an effective workout at home. You can still get an effective amount of exercise without doing a specific 30-minute strength workout, this and that. Taking the stairs, for example, parking further away so you have to walk to the building, forcing yourself in between meetings, or you've been sitting and working for an hour. Get up and walk for 5 minutes. And I know it doesn't seem like a lot, but if you take those 5 minute breaks 4 to 5 times during your workday, that's going to add up to about half an hour. And if you're like me, you get in a work zone and you're staring at your computer, like, I'm just going to grind this out. I'm going to get it done. And I get it. So it takes a little bit of that mental push to be like, okay, you need to get up and take that break. But just again, taking those small breaks, not only for your body, but also for your mind. You'll come back from walking for 5 minutes and feel better and want to go back to work. But if you do have the time, I know a lot of people don't like waking up earlier. Sometimes we already have to get up at 6 a.m. for work. That could literally mean get up at 5:45, lay on your bedroom floor for 10 minutes and do a little bit of core work, Pilates, stretch, do something that moves your body and engages your muscles. Again, doesn't need to be intense. 15 minutes earlier of waking up. You just have to choose to fit it in. And that's what I love about my private coaching is I do have a lot of clients that don't have time to fully work out, but I can see what workouts they log, I can see how many steps they're taking. And so if I can tell they haven't moved all day, they'll get a text from me and I'm like, "Hey, so have you taken a break from your desk?" And they're like, "Yeah, no, I haven't done that." So then you have that reminder and that accountability, someone that's literally watching you. But yeah, keep it simple. 10, 15, 20-minute workouts, take those breaks during the day to take walks, get home from work, take a 20-minute walk outside before you start doing more work at home. It's just forcing yourself to take those breaks during the day.
Yeah. And it does it does impact your mental side as well. Like it's so relaxing to get those mini breaks. And like I tell my clients, right? Like, okay, like just the same thing as you said. Like we know the CDC guideline has like the 150 minutes or moderate exercise and all of that. I'm
Yes.
like, but you can break them down. A lot of people think that exercise does not count. And it's funny that you said it's like, oh, I need to be 2 hours at the gym. I'm like, no, it doesn't have to be like that long. Like you can break them down. They still count, right? Like you do want to get your heart pumping, but it breaks them down. And I always say, like, start with 5, 10 minutes, even after lunch. And actually, even after the meals, it helps a lot with insulin resistance. So squeeze that in. Like the holidays are coming. You're like, oh, okay, it's cozy. If you're in the northern hemisphere and it's a little bit cooler, um, right? Like it's cold weather, get a playlist. Find 2 or 3 songs that you really like and start dancing like right after. So instead of like kind of like passing out at the couch because of food coma, get moving and find different ways of doing it. Um, the other thing
The
that I
beautiful
tell them is like find something that you really like. I mean, some people are like, I
Yes.
hate yoga. I'm like, well, if you hate yoga, then let's look for something else
Yeah.
that maybe gives you that same benefit, right? Like let's explore different things. Like again, you mentioned Pilates. Like I personally love Pilates. It's like it's one of my favorite things. I try to squeeze a workout like once a week because that's all I can do in terms of time management. But I personally love Pilates. Um some people they want to do more of like the cardio, like higher intensity workout. So I tell them find the things that you really enjoy. Other people, they don't want the gym. They feel intimidated because they feel judged. They may not have like, oh, the confidence. People are looking at me. I don't know how I don't want to be sweating in front of other people. Like I will hear a lot of different things. So I tell them, okay, like incorporate a walk outside. If you like hiking, right? Like if you like biking, you can make it fun and incorporate even on the weekends activities that connect with your family, with your loved ones, and that still add that movement, right? Like be intentional about the movement. Like you said, like taking the stairs, parking away, um, going to the mall, just don't buy a lot of stuff. But even going and some people will do loops when it's super cold. They're like, well, I'll just go to the mall and I'll just loop around the entire mall and go to the second floor and the third. And that's how they get their steps. So anything that you can do to add that, like, it will definitely, like, benefit. Now
The biggest
mhm,
I was gonna say the biggest guideline that I typically tell people is just daily movement. So we talked about the 150 minutes a week, which is a great standard and threshold to try to reach towards. But bottom line is, are you moving every day outside of work? So going to work, doing the dishes around your house, making your bed, none of that counts as intentional exercise. That's just being a human. So are you taking 15 minutes every day to do some kind of movement, like you said, that you enjoy and switch it up? Every day, you don't need to do the same kind of exercise because you will get bored of it. So literally dance in the kitchen. That is you moving your body, getting your heart rate up. Dance around your kitchen with your husband, go on a walk, go throw a frisbee. Like let yourself be a child. If you want to just go play basketball and you're awful at it, great, go do that. Um, but find something you enjoy, and then you do want to try to get at least one strength training session in each week just to help with your muscle mass, bone density. That's going to help you live better when you get older. You want to be able to get out of a chair when you're older. But again, that can be split up. You can have one total body strength day that you split between Wednesday and Saturday. You do half of it on each of those days. So again, it doesn't have to be a full hour. You could do 2 sets instead of 3 sets. It can be smaller. It just matters that you do it.
Yep, yep. And I tell them like start small and build from there. Because what I've seen, like I have had clients that it's like, okay, I'm like, well, let's start with one thing. Like you're gonna put your clothes, your workout clothes first. Like let's put that as a goal. And it sounded almost like, are you ridiculous? And I'm like, yeah, just put because then the moment that you get that outfit out and you put it on, now you're like, okay, like I need to do
It
something.
changes the persona. Yeah.
Right? It just changes and it's like little steps. And I have had a client that I remember completely sedentary, sitting down all day, like no movement, had a treadmill, and I'm like, okay, like start with like 5 minutes. Start 5 minutes. And she started with 5 minutes on the treadmill. And now like she's there like for like 30, 45 minutes. Now like the speed is higher. And now she's like, I never thought I would say this, but I am actually enjoying this because I feel so much more energy. So when
Yes.
they see the benefit, sometimes it's a dread at the beginning. It's like, okay. And I'm like, well, like find a playlist or look for a show to watch, like, and tell yourself that you are only going to see that show while you're on that treadmill so that you can add like the reward for you doing it, right? Like, because some people, I mean, like I like being outside and being outdoors, but like the formal exercise is a struggle a little bit for me. Like it takes a lot of discipline, but I had to almost like put a little rewards so that I can be motivated and do that. So that's why I tell the clients, I'm like, okay, like start small. And it's the same thing with strength training. I'm like, if you can like, okay, like start with a plank. If you want to hold a plank for X amount of seconds, start with that and then build from there and start doing it. And you're gonna get stronger. And when you realize how great you feel,
You'll want to keep
then
doing
you
it.
want to keep doing it. And the
Yeah.
thing is like to start and to be able to see that glimpse of, oh, this is what it's doing to my body and this is how I feel. And forget about the fact that you're going to look better too. But
That's just the
yeah,
reward right there.
absolutely, absolutely. What in your experience, like what is the biggest challenge that you see clients face, and what is like one tip that you can share that they can use? Like how do you manage when they're like, okay, like it just does not stick?
I Veering off from fitness for a minute, one of the biggest overall struggles I find with clients is the nutrition part of it. Sometimes it's just not getting enough food in because they are trying to eat clean and they're like, I don't know what else to eat. So then they're under fueling. Some of them, they eat enough because they're hungry, but again, they run out of ideas. So they end up snacking and going for desserts and then they're not seeing their results. So fine tuning the nutrition and managing blood sugar and all of these things we've been talking about is honestly one of the biggest struggles because I can get them consistent in the gym. But if you are not then eating and recovering well, you're not going to see and feel the way that you truly want to. As far as the gym, the timing is truly the biggest issue and setbacks. So I have all my clients plan out their week. Pick Sunday's typically the day, write all your workouts, write out your meals, write your schedule so that you go into the week and you know what is happening every day and you don't allow yourself, oh, what am I eating tonight? I haven't worked out. There's no question. It's written in your planner. It's an assignment, it's a meeting. You have to do it. But, then your child gets sick, then you get sick, then there's an injury, then there's, oh, my husband called and we have an emergency. Like there's something that happens. The beauty of having a planner is, okay, can I swap Tuesday's workout with Fridays because it's shorter? So when something comes up, you can shuffle it around. So it's learning how to manage, okay, instead of forgetting everything, my child got sick. Cool. Can you work out at home? Can you, while he takes a nap, party in your kitchen? Like finding another option instead of something happened, I can't do anything and forgetting it, is another big struggle is time is already so short. And so then they lose that time or something pops up and it's just this big bundle of stress. Learning how to manage that stress is one of the biggest things I work with.
Oh, yeah. And definitely like planning. Like it's not like waking up in the morning and be like, what am I gonna do
What do I
today?
want to do?
I don't
Yeah.
know. And the same thing with the food. And meal planning and prepping are different. Like you can still plan. That doesn't mean that you have to prep everything for the entire week, even though sometimes I do that. But If you feel like daunting, I know some people are like, wait, I don't know if I can do this. I'm like, at least have a plan, right? Like, look at what is in your kitchen. Like, look at how your schedule is. Like, there are certain days maybe that you have a lot of meetings at your job, and you know that maybe that's not the best day for you to even squeeze that workout. Maybe it's something simpler, but if you don't plan it and look at it ahead, then it's kind of like it's hard for you to even figure that out. So that's amazing. Now, one quick question, and then we're going to throw a few like random questions for you so that people get to know you personally. But what are your recommendations when it comes to exercise and like what to eat before, after? Like I know, and I had a client that actually was not eating enough, and she was lifting weights and doing all these things, and the moment that we incorporated a high protein like snack before the workout, she started seeing results. So it was technically that she was not eating enough. So I would love for you to share a couple of tips on that and like what to eat before, after. What would be like your recommendations around the workout?
So, starting with some of the timing guidelines, typically a larger meal an hour, hour and a half before, or a smaller snack 15 to 30 minutes before a workout. I typically opt for the snack just because, for me personally, having a big meal and then having to go do a workout sounds awful. But for some people, that's what they prefer, and that's how it fits in their schedule. And then within 30 minutes to an hour after you work out, you want to make sure you get food, specifically protein and carbs, back in your body because that's how your muscles recover. That's how you build the muscle and also don't pull anything and feel as sore. Um, Depending on if you're a morning workout person, for everyone, you want to eat within an hour of waking up. But if you work out first thing in the morning, I always say grab a small snack. So I have a few recipes like protein banana bread. You can grab a piece of banana bread, you can get half a protein bar. Some people like protein in the morning. Other people, it may just be eat an apple, eat a banana. Get something in your body before you go work out and then eat breakfast after. And then if you work out later in the day, that's where you either follow that bigger meal 90 minutes before, a smaller snack 30 minutes before. But the bottom line for it is, sorry about the huge truck. Bottom line is if you feel hungry, eat. Like if you work out and you eat a snack and you're like, I still feel hungry, there's a reason you feel that way. Maybe don't go eat a 5 course meal. Like give yourself another small portion to see if you fill up, but fuel your body. Like your body's asking you for food, asking for something to recover. But yeah, so after a workout, protein and carbs is your big thing. Before a workout, more of the carbs and fat. Carbs are going to have the glucose and the sugar that you need to give you the energy for a workout. Protein's going to give you what you need to recover your muscles. So maybe not downing a protein shake before you work out because your stomach probably won't feel great, and just swapping fruit, sugar, carbs before, protein after.
Okay, awesome, awesome. Now let's get to know you a little bit. Coffee or
Yes.
tea?
Ooh, funny fun fact, I don't like either. I don't drink coffee and I don't drink hot tea, but I will drink sweet tea.
Oh, okay, okay, awesome,
Little
awesome.
southern girl down here.
Oh, yes, yes. Well, sweet tea is delicious. It's delicious. What is your favorite snack?
Currently, I've been on a hummus kick. Almond crackers with hummus, specifically red pepper hummus. I don't know why, but I've been obsessed with it.
Yeah, I love red pepper hummus. It has like a little something, a lot better than like the regular one. I'm like, oh, this
Yes.
just has a little something that is so good. I like to
And I
have it
used to
with
hate hummus.
cucumbers. I cut cucumbers and sticks in them. That's
Oh,
how. Yep.
that's amazing.
It's very, very hydrating. I feel like it's so hydrating. But I
Mhm.
love it. Now, what is your favorite type of exercise? I know that you're a personal trainer and you mentioned different modalities, but what is your favorite type of?
Obviously, my top would be dance because I still perform professionally. But in terms of what I do for cross training, strength training would be my favorite, which is funny because I never did it growing up and I love it. And I have to say specifically arm day. I like upper body, which is odd for a girl, but I do like my upper body days.
Okay. Favorite treat or dessert? Something that you're like, mm.
Brownies. If someone makes brownies, I'm eating all of them. I
Awesome,
love
awesome.
them.
Now, one last recommendation for people that are listening that maybe you're struggling with your blood sugar, maybe you're struggling trying to figure out how to incorporate movement, how to incorporate strength training. Again, like the CDC guidelines say like 150 minutes a week of moderate and 2 sessions of strength training. And I know that a lot of my clients, including myself, that's the part that most of us struggle the most. It's to incorporate that strength training. It seems like it's not as fun as I'm going to go out for a walk or a jog.
Right.
Um, but any final recommendations? And also, if you would share where they can find you. Obviously, I'm going to put all the information in the show notes, but um, any way that they can connect with you.
Absolutely. So I know we kind of touched on this, keeping it simple, starting small. Pick the thing that's easiest for you. If you currently are not working out at all and strength training sounds like the worst thing in the world, don't start with that. If you're like, I think I can walk every day, make that your goal. Walk every day for 2 weeks. Once you've done that, maybe you can add in half of a strength workout. So you have 2 strength workouts during the week, take half of it. Start with that for a week and then build in the second half. Don't just go all in. So pick the thing that's you're going to enjoy the most and make that your first step. 2 weeks, make that a consistent habit. Then you can start layering in the harder things because you already have that mental toughness of, okay, well, I've walked for 2 weeks. I can add this in. And with the strength training, I know some people, it's really hard to motivate, whether that's a playlist that you make, if that's a podcast you listen to, if that's taking someone with you, a gym buddy, or you can even turn on a YouTube show, like a movie while you're working out. Have something there that motivates you, kind of having that reward system. So that when you're in between sets, you can look down at your show and you're like, okay, well, I'm at the gym, I might do something. And it kind of gives you that little push. Yeah, break it up into pillars. What's your easiest step? What's your hardest step? And what's in between those? And take those a week at a time. And that same with the nutrition. If you're trying to tackle fitness and nutrition both at the same time, pick one. Focus on just the fitness for 2 weeks, then layer in the nutrition and start making tiny habit changes that will add up over time. But if you do have any more questions for me, you can find me at balancedwithlisa.com. I do have some free guides on there, 3-step fixes, which talk a lot about getting in your daily steps and just some kind of daily movement. And I have my 6 essentials that I use in my training, along with a protein recipe pack. And in these guides, there are free workout samples. So, one of my recovery workouts that can be done at home, completely body weight, I do give you a sneak peek of that in those free resources. So you can always check out the workout and see if you want more of that. And if you book a call with me, I'm giving free audits. So that's 30 minutes just to talk with me, tell me about your goals, your concerns, your struggles. And I give you hands on, personalized tips and advice right there on the call to help you get some next steps going.
Okay, so that's like a lot of good resources that you can tackle. So everything is going to be on the show notes. And I hope that you are happy about all of this information. Like, and you can get started and get motivated. And this comes on Friday morning. So that means you have the weekend to actually sit down and plan your week and set a few
Absolutely.
goals and incorporate this. And don't use the holidays or the weather to like delay this. You know, it's way too early to say like I'll start in January. Start now, start today. Today is the day, and incorporate like that one simple step. So, Lisa, thank you so much for all of your information, all of your expertise. I love to hear about like your story about being a dancer and how um, it actually impacted your journey and how like now look at what you're doing and helping others, you know, stay healthy and moving. And I love to hear the personal stories behind all of us. Like that makes me super excited to hear. Awesome.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, absolutely. Have an amazing rest of your week. And as you know, every Friday morning, I will be here bringing simple strategies so that you can live your best life and start moving towards that one simple habit at a time. Have an amazing weekend. And let's see.